When you reach the age of 80, life unfolds in a way you might never have anticipated in your younger days. The idea of winning shifts profoundly. Back then, success might have looked like climbing career ladders, stacking up possessions, or chasing recognition. But as time goes by, the glitter fades, and you begin to see life through a different lens. True victory, I've realized, isn't found in numbers or trophies. It's in the simple, often overlooked things. The kind that takes quiet effort to nurture, but holds the power to shape your entire existence. What I'm about to share might change how you see your life today and the years ahead. I often think about the people I've met along the way, brilliant, accomplished, full of potential. Yet many of them, over the years, lost something invaluable. Not their wealth or possessions, but something far more precious. Their ability to move freely. Movement is freedom. And freedom? That's life. At 80, if you can rise from a chair unaided, take a stroll in the park, or even dance a little when the mood strikes, you're wealthier than you know. I don't say this lightly. I've lived it. I've seen how the smallest steps, literally and figuratively, define our quality of life. When I turned 60, I began to notice my body whispering to me, aching joints, stiff mornings. I shrugged it off at first. Aging felt like someone else's story, not mine. But those whispers grew louder, and I had a choice. Ignore them or listen. I chose to listen. It wasn't about chasing fitness trends or trying to stay young. It was about safeguarding my independence. So I walked. Every day, I stretched. I stayed active, not for a number on a scale, but for the promise of tomorrow. And now, decades later, I can still tend to my garden, wander through my home unaided, and even twirl a little when my favorite song comes on. Those small victories, climbing stairs, getting out of bed without help, are treasures. Priceless ones. So, I ask you, what are you doing today to ensure that, at 80, you can still embrace life on your terms? Don't wait for the years to catch up to you. Move. Because movement is more than physical health. It's a promise of autonomy, of living life fully. But let me tell you something just as profound. Movement isn't the only key to thriving in your golden years. A sharp mind is just as essential. Have you ever heard the phrase, healthy mind, healthy body? At 80, I can tell you, it's true in ways you may not yet understand. Your mind is the bridge between you and the world, the keeper of your memories, the compass of your identity. Lose it, and even the strongest body will feel empty. Imagine waking up one day, unable to recall how you got here. The faces of loved ones, once familiar, now feel distant. Your life stories, your triumphs, joys, and lessons fade like a dream you can't quite grasp. That's what happens when we neglect our mental well-being. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you nurture your mind, if you challenge it, feed it, and cherish it, it will serve you well. At 80, I can still recall the names of my childhood friends, laugh at the adventures of my youth, and share tales that make my grandchildren giggle. These are the gifts of a life lived fully and cared for, not just in body but in spirit. So I'll ask again, what are you doing today to ensure your tomorrow is bright? At 80, your mind is a masterpiece, a vault of memories, lessons, and wisdom collected over a lifetime. Yet, how often do we forget its value, even as those around us fail to see the depth of our inner world? The truth is, for that treasure to remain vibrant and alive, it requires care, just like the body. Keeping your mind sharp isn't just about staying healthy, it's about truly living. An active mind keeps you curious, engaged, and connected to the world. It fuels your ability to learn, adapt, and find joy in the everyday. And if, at 80, your mind is still clear and curious, you've conquered one of life's most rewarding battles. But let me tell you something important. This isn't a battle won overnight. It's a quiet, steady effort that you make every single day.
How?
By challenging your mind and keeping it alive. Pick up a book that makes you think. Seek out conversations with people who inspire you. Solve puzzles, play chess, or learn something new, even if it's as simple as a recipe or a song.
Why?
Because every moment you invest in your mind today builds a foundation for tomorrow. At 80, you'll see the payoff, the clarity to tell your stories, the sharpness to enjoy conversations, and the joy of remembering a life well lived. That, my friends, is the essence of victory, not just surviving the years, but staying present in body and, above all, in mind. But now, let's talk about something even deeper, the third secret to a truly fulfilling life at 80, human connection. When you reach my age, you realize that life isn't measured by what you own or achieve. It's the people by your side who make your journey worthwhile. Believe me, loneliness is the greatest challenge of old age, and the bonds you nurture are what keep your spirit alive. Let me be honest, reaching 80 with a healthy body and a sharp mind is an incredible accomplishment. But without meaningful connections, it can feel hollow. Loneliness isn't just a quiet sadness, it's an invisible thief. It drains your energy, your health, and your joy. And the most painful part? It doesn't always come in the form of being alone. You can be surrounded by people and still feel unseen, unheard, and disconnected. Loneliness doesn't knock on your door all at once. It creeps in slowly. Loved ones move away.
Friends pass on.
Children and grandchildren become caught up in their own lives. Before you know it, the circle around you shrinks, and you might even start to believe your stories no longer matter. But let me tell you something I've learned. Your presence always matters. Your stories always matter. There is always someone who cares, someone who needs you, even if you don't realize it. The key to overcoming loneliness is not waiting for others to find you. It's about taking that first step to connect. Open your door, whether it's to an old friend, a neighbor, or even a stranger. Share your wisdom, your kindness, and your time. Because when you connect with others, you're not just enriching their lives, you're reigniting your own. I won't lie, it takes courage to reach out, especially when you feel overlooked. But the beauty of life is that it's never too late to build a bridge. Whether it's a heartfelt phone call, a shared cup of coffee, or a conversation that lingers into the evening, these moments are what fill the gaps that time creates. At 80, I've learned this. We're not meant to navigate life alone. We are built for connection, for laughter, for the touch of a hand that reminds us we're seen and valued. And if you can still find it within yourself to connect with those around you, you've unlocked the greatest triumph of all. You know, some people think life slows down at 80, that it's too late for new friendships, new conversations, or even new loves. But let me tell you something, you're never too old for any of that. Life doesn't end at 80. In fact, some of the most meaningful moments can still be waiting for you. An unexpected conversation, the warmth of a new friendship, or even just sharing laughter with someone can bring more happiness than any amount of money ever could. It's not just about having someone to talk to. It's about staying curious about other people's stories and still wanting to learn from them. Holding on to these connections sends a powerful message. You're here, you matter, and your presence is valued. I get it, it's not always easy. Fear of rejection, feeling like it's too late, or even embarrassment might hold you back. But here's the trick. Push past those fears. Be the one to reach out. Open up. What truly defines us isn't how much we've achieved, but who we've shared those achievements with. One of my friends once told me, at 85 years old, the saddest thing is to grow old with no one to hold your hand. And they were right. What matters most as we age isn't the money or the accolades. It's the simple moments, the quiet breakfast with a loved one, the sunset shared with a dear friend, the laughter that echoes through your home. Victory in life isn't about the zeros in your bank account. It's about how you cared for your body, fed your mind, and loved the people around you. So, ask yourself, are you on the right path to win these trophies at 80? Are you taking care of what truly matters? I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing today to make sure you're living a life full of victories in the future? Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what's on your mind. If this video made you reflect, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who means a lot to you. And before you go, don't miss the next video. It's right here on the screen. It's full of practical tips to help you live the more fulfilling life. Click it and let's continue this journey together. See you there.